Bruce Jenner. When I say his name, the first thing that comes to most individuals' minds is the fact that he has now transitioned into a woman, that he evidently suffers from gender dysphoria. You think about the fact that he would now like to be addressed as Caitlin and referred to with the she pronoun. However, his desire to identify with a gender that doesn't directly correspond to his anatomy should not be what defines or identifies him. She was the winner of the Olympic decathlon in 1976. The transgender community was one I was never personally exposed to in my small town of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Until I came to Kansas City, I did not know anyone that had suffered from gender dysphoria. I was introduced to the numerous struggles in this particular community and what they face routinely in my gender studies class that I was enrolled in my spring semester of my freshman year at UMKC. It is a community I learned a lot about in that class and became eager to educate others about their unfortunate struggles and hopes to make some sort of social change. According to Ryan Sullins, a well-known transgender author, activist, and speaker amongst the community, to be transgender means a person's gender identity is different from the sex, the anatomy they were assigned at birth, or a person's gender expression is outside of traditional societal norms. Gender identity refers to how we identify to gender psychologically, whereas gender expression refers to the way in which we portray or communicate our gender to other members of society, like through the intonation of our voices, like through the way we dress, the way we talk. This uniqueness is what defines and brings together the members of the transgender community. This is what they share. Those like Caitlyn Jenner that suffer from gender dysphoria, members of the transgender community, have been faced with countless struggles in their past and are to this day still facing many struggles. According to Carl Wright, a Brooklyn freelance journalist who focuses on exploring politics pertaining to sex and race, has notably asserted, from employment to health services, transgender folks, particularly those in low-income environments, face enormous barriers when navigating even the most basic aspects of life, all because of their gender transgressions. Going all the way back in time to the first visible act of transgender expression takes us back to 1503 BC. In 1503 BC, according to CBC's Doc Zone, Egyptian queen Hatshepsut took her place on the throne donning artificial male facial hair and men's clothing. Moreover, in 220 AD, Elagabalus, a Roman emperor at the time, was renowned throughout the empire for wearing makeup and for persistently seeking a physical sex change by offering recompenses to physicians who would give him female genitalia. Charlotte Clark, who was, according to historians, a flamboyant cross-dressing actress in the mid-1700s, published an autobiography in which she discussed the unique struggle she faced as the first person of modern times to be openly lesbian and openly transgendered, in addition to her unique and highly scrutinized relationship with her wife. More pertinent to the history behind understanding gender dysphoria, in 1869, Carl Friedrich Otto Westphal published the first medical paper regarding the concept of transsexuality. According to the National Coalition of Transgender Political Groups' previous director, Xavier, we as the transgender community continue to be one of the most stigmatized populations on the planet. According to a study conducted by Xavier regarding the welfare of a sample of the transgender population, in a survey of around 250 transgender people in Washington, D.C., 40% were unemployed. Almost half had no health insurance and reported not seeing a physician regularly. A quarter reported being HIV positive, and another 35% reported having seriously considered suicide. From what I explored in my semester of gender studies, it became clear to me that this high unemployment rate amidst the specific community is influenced by the discrimination transgender individuals are faced with by potential employers when they are seeking employment. In addition, when members of the transgender community are officially diagnosed with their gender identity disorder, this diagnosis is inputted into medical records as a mental health problem. Unfortunately, when employers read that their potential employee has a mental health problem, it raises red flags, which is completely unfair and unwarranted in this case, and can very well be the reason for this high unemployment rate within the community. The same thing goes for the case in not seeing a physician regularly, for a number of transgender individuals find themselves being turned away, utterly influenced by discrimination for their uniqueness, by some medical professionals. Moreover, pertaining to the healthcare realm, the transgender community finds their process of transitioning to be an exhausting emotional struggle as they feel restricted and daunted throughout the process. According to Wright, most within the transgender community unite around frustration with the gatekeeping nature of it all, the notion that one must first ask permission, then be declared insane, before allowed to violate our gender roles. Although organizations like the Sexual Minority Youth Assistance League has played a pivotal role in offering support to those suffering from gender dysphoria, and unfortunately impacting discrimination they face from other fellow members of society, controversies like the transgender bathroom conflict keep pushing members of this community down.